Hey music fans, as a roadie I had this great opportunity to tour with all these bands. I wrote a book about my experiences on the road and it was the #1 new release on Amazon and Bios and it's now sold millions of copies on Kindle. I'm Joel Roadie and this is my podcast, Party Like a Rock Star.
I have not heard of Maximum the Hormone?
Yeah.
Haven't heard of it.
This is something I thought might be interesting to see what my friend Scott Palmason thought of a band called Maximum the Hormone. I'm a big fan. If you watch my channel, I try to do every reaction I can to these guys. It's hard. A lot of them are blocked, but I make my way through, right? And we check it out. So this guy has a really strong background in singing and his opera. So this is so different than I think a Maximum the Hormone fan that I would think would be. So let's see what happens here. I thought that's what would be the fun part. A little background on Scott. If you haven't watched the other episodes, I met him in a trailer park at a variety show. He won the variety show. My girlfriend made me go to this thing and actually it was super, super fun and I made a new pal. So he is an actor, a singer, and a comedian. He's from Seattle, Washington. He's been on shows like The Tonight Show and The Lion Guard on the Disney Channel. You can find him regularly performing at the Outside In Theater in Los Angeles. His next event is Ella's super cool Eurovision Holiday Spectacular. It's on December 16th at the Lyric Hyperion Theater in Los Angeles. If you like, you can follow him on Instagram at Scott Palmason. Anyway, let's jump into this. Let's see what he has to say about Maximum the Hormone. This is a band by the name of Maximum the Hormone. This is a totally different vibe than we've done before. I'm a big fan. I think these guys are great. They're out of Japan, and I think they've got a good thing going. So you can let me know what you think. Let's do it.
Låt
What do we got to say about those guys?
So much. First of all, I don't know if I've ever heard a song like that before. It took me by. I felt surprised several times when it started. The way it started, I did not think it would be so pop driven, and then I was surprised several times the turns it took during it. But what prevailed for me was it almost had the spirit of like if the world of Nintendo has not like figured it out, this is the band you book for your like Nintendo Con. Like this is it. To me, this is like the spirit of like and forgive me, this is what it brought out for me. I'm like of like the gaming culture, of like the spirit of like Pikachu, of like the Mario Brothers, of it just had such a playfulness and a brightfulness to it, but then it got dark with the edge as well. And I think, I don't know, it reminded me a lot of my friends who are really into that gaming world and into the brightness and the technology around it. I mean, there's certain sounds in this song that, you know, the way that the voices are used, it sounded like a video game character. It sounded like there was battles. It sounded like, that's what I got from it, and a lot of fun. And I love that the band was in the corner dancing with you the whole time. I love that sense of humor, right? I'm gonna search them afterwards, and they'll be at like, I'm sure they've done some sort of gaming event where it's like, now that we've announced this new Mario Brothers, game, here's,
So this is one of their lighter tracks. Most of their stuff has that heavier edge to it.
Okay.
This is a very user-friendly track. I love the change-ups that the band does. I mean, all of their stuff that I've heard, they do it a lot, and you just don't know where the music's going to go
at all. I love when music surprises me because there were several times I had to catch myself because I was doing this and I was like, and I looked up at you and was like, oh, I was like, because I was literally like, is he doing like a death metal rap now? That's amazing. Because at first I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a bright pop band. And then it took several turns, and love when music can surprise you. And they really do that well.
All right, so a question for you, and then I'm going to bring on a musician that might surprise you. But a question for you is, that show was off the hook, man. That audience was insane. I remember doing a lot of shows like that, and the energy of the crowd is there. What's the nuttiest gig you've ever done?
The nuttiest gig I've ever done.
Strangest venue, to the biggest surprise, to how the hell am I hearing what's going on right now?
I mean, so I guess one of the nuttiest things I ever did was I had to sing at a Disney Channel event. So I sang at an event at the Disneyland Hotel where they're announcing a bunch of their new music, they're announcing a bunch of their new songs, and for their TV channels worldwide. And they're also showing investors, hey, here's how we did it this year. It's kind of like an upfront that they do here in the United States, but it's really to tout, hey, we're doing great, investors, tune in. And it was a friend of mine had written a bunch of the songs for a show called The Line Guard, so I got to sing a few of those. But when I showed up at the rehearsal, they were like, hey, do you guys know the theme from the show DuckTales? And I was like, yes. And my nerd brain just started to explode, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I got to sing it for them because they were going to bring back DuckTales. And they said, oh, do you know the theme from Muppet Babies? And I said, yeah, I know that theme. Yes, I'm a kid of the 80s, yes. And I got to sing that as well. And so I got to rehearse and do all this stuff. And then I went into this big ballroom with this band. And as they were introducing all the shows that were doing well, all the things that were doing well, I got to introduce and sing Muppet Babies, DuckTales, The Lion King. There's a group of kids called The Descendants, which is a really popular movie series in the Disney brand. They came out and did a rock show. Zachary Levi was there. It was a lot of fun, and I was like, a Mickey Mouse made a big splash, so that was exciting. But it was very cool to be in that room, and it was live streamed to the world. And that was my pinch me. This is nutty. I get to sing all these songs from my childhood. I think that's my best answer.
Oh, that's a good one. So one of the voice of Darkwing Duck or whatever was actually on the show. His name's Kevin. I see him on a regular basis. I'll have to introduce you to him. He's a great guy.
Oh, I'd love that. I'm a huge fan. I went as Darkwing Duck when I was 11 for Halloween. I'll show you the picture, but it's a paper mache head and like the hat, and it's my favoriteest costume ever.
Oh, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the band, one of the bars I go to, I see him out regularly. They do an open mic night, so maybe I'll bring you guys and you can Darkwing Duck it.
Oh yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. All right. So I said something different. Have you ever heard of an artist by the name of Ren?
Ren? No, I've not heard of the band Ren.
All right, let's jump into that, and you can see what Ren's all about.
Great.
Hey, the podcast is over. What are you still doing here? Well, while you're here, like and subscribe. Thanks.